Morning show here on Arise News. Since the conclusion of the 2023 general elections that brought Bola Ahmed Tinubu to office, the opposition Labour Party have been in court to prove that their candidate, Peter Obi, was the rightful winner of the 2023 election. Under fire from the barrage of criticisms trailing the 2023 general elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, had appeared before the court to defend the presidential poll that produced Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashim Shettima as president and vice president, respectively. Accordingly, the commission prayed the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal, sitting at the Court of Appeal in Abuja, to dismiss a petition filed by Labour Party and its presidential candidate Peter Obi, saying that the reliefs sought are not grantable. The Labour Party have persisted with their case against the election conduct and how the electoral umpire didn't live up to expectations. Well, joining us on the morning show to review their case before the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal and the party's call for the INEC chairman to resign is Akin, the Director General of the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council. Welcome to the morning show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. I was telling my friend here that all of you on the show are my friends, so I think I'm going to have a good time here.
All right, then. Let's get straight into it. Now, the Labour Party has called for the immediate dismissal and prosecution of the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, as I read in my introduction, over his alleged role in the 2023 presidential elections. Can you expand on the specific actions or decisions that Labour Party believes, that Professor Yakubu did to, or they believe that warrants such demands? Let's expand on that. Why do you want him to leave office?
Yeah, because, INEC has established a reputation, pardon my word, that tend towards going rogue. Now, this time around, they have, I think, overreached themselves. And their cup of iniquities is full and running over. We have just finished the stage of the hearings at the tribunal, the appeal court. And you wonder why. It's an opportunity for INEC especially to provide full account, to demonstrate accountability, in what it has done. I mean, that is if they don't have anything to hide. On the contrary, the behavior of INEC at the tribunal has been very dodgy. Given the avalanche of criticism and condemnation of INEC, nationally and internationally, anybody who is a person of integrity should even have called for an independent inquiry into the election. Now, of course, you choose members. If you want it to be as objective as you want, you can even ask members of the international community, United Nations, Commonwealth, or so and so forth, to constitute that panel and inquire and verify, what actually happened. So that is what a man who has nothing to hide, that is what he should do. And of course, given the gravity, of this presidential election, another thing that, struck me was that INEC called altogether, I think, 2 witnesses. Now, of those 2 witnesses, nobody really of consequence came to testify. The highest was the man designated as Deputy Director, ICT staff. Now, Mahmood, the chairman of the INEC, Okoye and INEC, their reputation, they have been under constant bombardment, every allegations, evidences of wrongdoing. I would have thought that the court proceedings will provide somebody like the chairman, and of course, given the significance of the presidential election, for him to come, seize that opportunity to discuss the elections, in a very comprehensive, and exhaustive. Rather, what you have, INEC has been very dodgy, in the way it has handled, the post-election period. As I said, the sum of their argument at the proceedings so far is why Nigerians should discountenance Beavers and IREF, right? They are arguing that the electoral law gives them the latitude, to do whatever they want, the elections, to count the elections manually, running from what they themselves spent hundreds of billions of Nigeria's money, millions of dollars of international money, to contract. So this is the sum of it's like you sabotaging yourself. Right? If you are and of course you remember how both the chairman and the director of public affairs, Mr. Okoye, went all over the place, swearing everyone that this will be the best election in Nigeria's history. Beavers is there on volleyball, RF is there, and then on the day of the election, the peg, the very anchor of what they are saying should be the basis of the credibility of the elections that they are playing. They shunted it aside. They claim glitches. That glitch is what they are claiming. They are Amazon Web Services, AWS. They have said that there was no glitch on their server on February 25th. And really they don't know where INEC got the story of the glitch that he's talking about. Look, you see, there will be a day of reckoning for all those who have run Nigeria down, including INEC. If not today, then tomorrow. And if not by the judgment of man, then God will do it. There's something that has always agitated my mind. I know quite a number of public officials, especially governors, ex-governors, who stole or acquired so much resources, running to billions, right? A few days after they left, not few days, some years after leaving office, I'm always dumbfounded to find that quite a number of them, have become near poverty-stricken. So how do you explain that? So let everybody, if you are sitting still and thinking that nothing will happen to you today, there will be tomorrow. If the beneficiary of the wrongdoing you have committed, is a person in charge now, and then you are, because of that, you are not likely to be made accountable. We have 8 years to go at the maximum. Something again, there is a future. So let nobody sit still and think that you have gotten away with what you have done.
All right, Akin, let me come in here.
So these are the things that,
All right, Akin, good morning. Let me come in here. This is OG. Your call for the sack of INEC chair. INEC has responded and said that the reasons that your party has adduced are not only illogical, but are also ridiculous, and that your party has no ground to call for the sack of the INEC chairman. I'd like for you to respond to this. But also, secondly, Peter Obi had debunked a report alleging that he was looking forward to running for office in 2027. And also another report about his reaction to prospective appointees into the federal government. I don't know if you're aware of these reports. While we understand that Peter Obi will be in contravention of the petitions filed at the tribunal if he were to make such comments, I'd like your thoughts on the appointments made so far by the president and some of his decisions. Yes. You wouldn't let me land.
Take it easy. You are piling too many
We have limited time, Akin. We have limited time. Just can you respond to INEC's...
What is illogical of INEC to say that I am being illogical? What is illogical? I was asking you to account for what you have done. Look, and what I was saying, resignation, that is the word all over the country, in the credible international community. If you have become so controversial, not by the estimation of Labour Party alone, but by the international community and Nigerians, if you have any shame left, you should resign your appointment. You have been there for years. What do you want to do now? And then you are there. What you should do to justify your remaining in office, you didn't do it, which is to give full account of what you have done, right? There was an opportunity. they were even subpoenaed. The chairman was subpoenaed, it didn't turn up. So what do you make of that? You cannot hold the country to ransom. So you have to know that the person accusing me of illogic is the person who is illogical. You know that. What should we demand of him?
Talking about your call for the INEC chair's sack, and I said that INEC has responded to your call, and they said that the reasons adduced by your party are not only illogical but also ridiculous, and you were responding to INEC. But I also posed another question because we are running out of time. I talked about Peter Obi, the tweet that he put out yesterday, talking about the fact that he is not going to run again for the 2027 elections. He debunked that claim, and he's also talking about the fact that he did not put out any report in terms of the political appointments that the current administration has done. I'd like for you to respond to both, please.
Yeah, what I think, well, what he said was that I think an extension was made. Of course, there are a lot of appointments, board appointments, that are before the president, and in the spirit of maybe national unity, they were saying that all parties or all state governments or governors, are entitled to nominate. So then took exception to that the Labour Party will not be party to that. Sorry, your other question was respect. Oji, can you please remind me of the other one?
Okay, well, I was talking about the statement that Peter Obi had put out yesterday, talking about the fact that he is not going to run for the 2027 election. He had debunked that report, and another report about his reaction to appointees. We understand that, he may not be able to speak on those because obviously it will be in contravention of the, petitions that have been filed at the tribunal. I don't know if you're aware of those reports. I'd like your thoughts on that, and also your thoughts on the appointments.
Of course, yes. I mean, it's the work of E-rats. You know what you call E-rats? You go and plant instruments, attributing it to whoever they choose to victimize, and and the effect of that will be to demoralize you, your supporters. Well, since illogical is of currency now, let me also say that what they attributed to him is illogical. He has not finished with 2023, and you are saying that he's talking about 2027. So there's nothing. There are a number of things, not just this one. I mean, and to be fair, there are other significant personalities to whom false statements are attributed to. So this is the same. This comes in the case of, if he said he will contest again in 2027, the implication of that is that he is already, giving up on his petition before the court.
All right, Mr. Oshutokun, if you can hear me. Can you hear me, Mr. Oshutokun?
We apologize that we're unable to connect back with Akin Oshutokun, Director General of the Labour Party presidential campaign. We hope to have him back again on the morning.